Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Liliana for those who are new here, and today's video is going to be a very technical video but yet so fun and yummy. If you guys want to learn how to make this beautiful cake, actually perfect for Easter coming up, well, keep on watching. So this is how I made this cake. Very simple to make, but yet there's a lot of techniques involved in this particular cake, but nothing major and complicated. So what you need to do is first for the cake, simply do a crumb coat, and then you do a second coat of whatever you want. It could be buttercream, it could be Swiss meringue or Italian meringue buttercream. It could be whipped cream, no problem whatsoever. So for the chocolate, what you're going to do, or candy melts, depending on what you're using, you're basically going to melt the chocolate or the candy melts 30 seconds at a time in the microwave, and make sure in between heatings, you're going to mix in very well so that the heat is distributed in the chocolate or the candy melts so that it doesn't burn your chocolate or your candy melts. You can also do it on a double boiler on your stove, but it's longer. So I prefer the microwave and it works very well. Just make sure that once it's out of the micro, continue whisking or mixing it up, making sure that you're kind of cooling it down, but it's not completely cool before you use it. So then you're going to use a cookie sheet and align it with parchment paper, and then using a spoon just create dots of chocolate, and then you're going to spread that chocolate the length of your cake itself. Once you've created those kind of like long shapes, you're just going to pop it either in the freezer to speed up the process, or in the fridge to chill 15 to 20 minutes until it has completely hardened, and then you can go ahead and then just remove them. I would not remove them with my hands. As you can see in most of my videos, when I work with chocolate or candy melts, I never touch it with my hands, and the reason why, just use gloves, because the heat of your skin will melt the chocolate or the candy melt, or you will see your imprints. So you don't want that in your, so yeah. So always use gloves when you're doing this so that the heat of your skin will not heat up the chocolate or the candy melts. So that's for that. And then if your buttercream or whatever you use around your cake is still sticky, you can go ahead and just place the chocolate. And if not, you can use a little bit of buttercream just to help it stick to your cake. And you do that all the way around. For the cake topper, I think I do this cake topper like almost every year for Easter. So simple to make, and it just gives it that nice wow effect. It's literally just rice vermicelli. It's like pasta, literally the thin one. So basically what you do is like you take your vermicelli and then you just boil it in water like you normally would with pasta. And then when it's ready, you bring your pasta onto your parchment sheet, and then you create that little dome so that you create a little nest. And then once you have the shape desired on your parchment sheet, just pop it in your oven. I normally do 350 for a good half hour. You're gonna see it takes quite a long time because the pasta is kind of wet. So it takes like a while so that your oven will dry it up. But the effects is like so amazing. You know when it's ready, when you can literally lift it off of your parchment paper and it's the bottom is not wet. It doesn't matter if it's burnt a little bit. Actually, it gives it a nice effect. And once it's completely dry, you can actually leave it like that. Or go ahead and then just airbrush it with edible paint, which that's what I did. And then you just, put little chocolate eggs inside. That's for that. And then for the edible moss, very simple to make. I've done videos in the past with this edible moss recipe and you guys loved it. So I decided to share it again. Very simple to make. Basically, you just whip your eggs and sugar until they're really nice and fluffy and yellow. And the sugar, not in one shot, just a little bit as you go, and then it's whisking until it's like really nice and foamy and that nice texture that I show in the video. And then you can add your food coloring, whatever color you're using. I use green moss, so because I like that nice dark color effect of the moss and on the cakes. And then you just use also you're gonna add your honey, and you're going to add your baking powder and your all-purpose flour, and that you're just going to basically stir it in. You're gonna fold it. It's calling the folding effect. So you're gonna fold it just to make sure that you're not deflating your eggs. you can put it in a bowl. Make sure that you seal it with a plastic wrap, or you can also put it in a coffee mug. But just make sure that, because it's gonna double in size, make sure that it's not gonna overflow in your microwave, because you don't want that. It's gonna be a hot mess. Once you cook that for about 1 to 2 minutes, depending on if you're using a large or a smaller, because if, like me, I use a bowl. So if I'm using a bowl, like all the product is in the bowl, all the ingredients are in the bowl, so I'm gonna do 2 minutes. If I use a mugs example, I wouldn't put in one mug, I would put in different mugs, so then it would be like more like 1 minute. Okay, the important thing is that always, whatever you're using that goes in the microwave, you have to cover it up to make sure that everything is sealed. Okay, and you're gonna cover it up with plastic wrap. So once that's ready, remove the plastic wrap and wait until it completely cools before you remove it, because you will burn yourself. So, and then once that's completely cooled, you can remove it, and then you can cut it in however you want, how thin, or you can use it however you want. And what's nice is that because it's gonna go in a microwave, because you whisk it so much, it's gonna create all these like holes and bubbles inside, and that's what gives the realistic effect of the moss. And then to glue it to your cake, I always use, depending on how you're using it, but the way I used it for my cake to make sure that it glues, I use just a little bit of buttercream, and then you can put it in the back of the moss or on your chocolate, and then it sticks right there and you're good to go. So basically that was it. I also added a little bit of butterflies here and there just to give it a cute little look, and voila. So like I said, there's a lot of techniques. It looks a little bit complicated, but you follow the step by step, and that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done it yet, subscribe and click the notification bell button so you get notified of all the videos that I put up. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.